I'm going to rant, it's inevitable, I can't help myself. Okay, well basically this video is about a programme I watched on TV called The World's Strictest Parents. I'm trying to put this video across as neatly as I can without going off on one. I'll just tell you what it's about. It's about a bunch of British kids that about the same age as me and younger and older that take drugs, smoke, drink excessively and have kids. There are a few who have kids. And they've been sent over to different parts of the world to be disciplined by other parents, and the majority of them are religious. That's probably why they have good discipline. However, I'm not religious, my family's not religious, and I think I've been brought up pretty well. I mean, often a lot of people say to my mum and dad that they've done a good job. For why? Because I'll tell you, being the only sort of, well, not the only girl, but let me put it this way: there's my mum, my grandma, my auntie, and me, and that's it. There's dad, and then shitloads of brothers. So yeah, and it's funny, the majority of the boys in my family have the brain capacity to do well at school, but they just do the bare minimum. Whereas myself, I seriously worked my ass off. I mean, I didn't do anything but work, and I just more or less got C's and B's. And to me, they are fails. Okay, with the amount of effort I put in there, fails. Anyway, going a little off track, which I said I knew I'd do. Oh, by the way, I have like really brightly coloured pink socks on. I think they're awesome. But yeah, that's just me. Anyway, carry on. Oh my god, there's three huge socks there. Anyway. Yeah, basically, they send them out, and they get them to discipline, basically. And I watched one episode last night, and there was two teenagers my age. One was a girl, and she was, I'm not gonna no, I won't, 'cause then I'll probably piss someone off, but she was from Liverpool, that's all I have to say. But there's two things that kind of pissed me off about the programme. One being, obviously these families that were really disciplined were all very religious, basically underlining that if you are religious you're going to have good kids. If you aren't, then you're going to have kids that run riots and do this, that and really generally don't have any sort of respect for anyone. And they've sort of in this programme they've sort of labelled all British teenagers as drunks, crackheads, and living on council estates and benefits. It kind of pissed me off. I'm fed up with these people that say, this lass, she said she was on benefits, she was like 17 years old, and she was on benefits and she's got a kid. She had this kid when she was like 14 or something. Which, yes, it might be, in some countries it'll be a shock, right? But I actually went to school with a lass who had a baby at 14, and the majority of girls my age, and some guys, have babies. They all have babies, because they just have this fixed, primate belief that when they get to a certain age, like 15, they have to have a baby, like an accessory. Now, I'm not religious. I'll just point out that I'm not religious. I would say that, considering I don't have kids, considering I'm at uni, considering I don't take drugs, smoke, or, I mean, I drink, but only on social occasions. Like, I would say I would have like a glass of wine, like a glass of wine, like twice a year. That's about it. I mean, seriously, I have like one glass of wine, and I'm so not used to it that I'm just, I mean, I'm not angry, but I'm just like really silly and laugh a lot. But yeah, I don't drink excessively. Oh my god, these people just drink and drink and drink. I mean, I tasted beer once, it was disgusting. It's just disgusting. Anyway, they've kind of labelled, in this programme, they've labelled all British kids as being like these kids. And it kind of annoyed me because there was these people in the programme saying if British kids are like this then blah blah blah. I would just like to state that there is a very small minority of British kids who don't drink, don't smoke, don't take drugs, and or at least wait until they're about like 20 something years old before they are even thinking about having kids, to be honest. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to have kids. I mean, I'm not a kid person. I'm not very maternal. Yeah. But it did kind of annoy me. But what I found funny is it's kind of a norm in this country to, it pisses a lot of people off. It pisses a lot of good people off. That, say for instance, I'm gonna pick a random group of lasses who I used to go to school with, who were really, really horrible, and all they cared about was their image and getting boyfriends and this, that and the other. All that group now, that group of lasses, are on benefits, with kids, without a fixed partner. Which I'm not saying is bad, but when you've got kids in your life, you need to have that sort of father figure, you know? I'm not saying you have to. I mean, there's a lot of people that survive without mother and father figures, but considering the amount of, I mean, to be honest, if you bring up a kid believing that it's okay to have babies at the age of 14, then your morals and knowing right from wrong, you know, they're kind of out the window. So that's probably why this country is going to shit, really, because they're saying basically, I mean, when, oh god, the government is saying you can't smack your kid, you can't touch your kid. If they're doing something wrong, you can't smack them for it. Bollocks. When me and my brother were younger, whenever we did something wrong, we got the wooden spoon. Really fucking hurt, and believe me, we only had to do it once. But you see, like, I mean, I used to know a couple of my mates used to shout at their parents and swear, and I'd be like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, I was expecting the mums just to bash their heads against the thing or something, or, you know, give them a good smack. But I don't, it's so frustrating because you see these mums with babies on the bus and kids, and they just run riot and they do whatever, and the mum's completely blasé, and you want to smack them. You want to say really mean things to them so they cry. I'm such an evil cow. Like, there's this little girl on the bus, and she kept standing on the chairs, and she actually fell into the bus aisle, which is kind of funny. But she was just being a shithead, and I just wanted to walk up to her and say stuff. If you don't sit the fuck down and this bus breaks, you are going to go flying through the front window, you're going to crack your head open, and there's going to be brains and blood, and you will be dead, and you will not live anymore, and you will miss your mum. And I swear to God, that's what I was really willing to say to that kid, just to get her to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Sorry, I know I was going to rant, but seriously, it's like all the people who can't look after kids are having kids, and all the people who are quite capable of looking after kids and bringing them up right aren't having them. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why you should move out of this country. Like, I'm noticing a lot of people are actually moving out of Britain because it's just becoming a shithole. It really is. I mean, I don't really see the point in the elections, because either you vote Labour or you vote Conservative. That's all these people seem to do. They just keep switching backwards and forwards. And half the time you don't blame them if they vote for people like Green Party or the UKIP. Good news though, apparently last night the MPs have stopped spending our money on doing up their second houses. Happy faces all around. To be honest, I think you have a fucking moat around your house. You know, you're just taking the piss, really. Oh yeah, and then I found out that, I don't know if in this country or any other country, but America, they have this LWA, which is Lottery Winners Anonymous or Association. And it's like people who are like really depressed about winning the lottery. If you're really depressed about winning the lottery and you find that you need to go to a LWA, then why don't you just give your money away to charity?